Sir Wort.
I've been wanting to talk about the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh for a few years now on my channel. Bold statement, but I think the show is better than the Winnie the Pooh movies. Today's countdown will be the top 7 reasons Pod and Order is the best new adventures of Winnie the Pooh episode. Let's grab your favorite honey pot or popcorn and jump right into the video. Let's begin. The title alone is worth talking about. Pod and Order is such a clever episode title that it is not corny and not boring. It really actually lives up to its name since it's about Sheriff Piglet trying to slay the thugs of Rickety Gulch. I always like it when any TV show or movie is just a pun for its title. I like how they handle the cowboy music in this episode. The music really sets the mood correctly in this episode. From the musical numbers to the instrumental music. One of my favorite songs that it plays in this episode is when the masked bear faces off Nasty Jack.
The fearless bear who wears the mask has never run from any task, and with his trusted faithful steed, he battles on to victory. Hey, watch your 7, Johnny. I say, how rude. He battles on to victory.
It feels like the perfect boss music. And the song where it reaches the climax is pretty intense.
Here comes the masked bear with his faithful steed. Once again, they're on their way to help a friend in need. They'll be here in the nick of time, eager to assist. Oh, Jack is in for some surprise.
I also like how the background music can go from mellow to speedy with ease. I feel like the music in this show in general is very catchy, very iconic and upbeat. It really bothers me you can't buy the background music from the show anywhere, but hopefully one day Disney will. There is no denying that the 80s and 90s was Disney television animation's heyday when it comes to the high quality animation, especially with the new adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Pod and Order, in my opinion, is where the animation peaks in this show. All the scenes where Owl and Gopher are singing their songs, when Pooh and the gang drive the minecarts, to Tigger being swung around with a rope, the ice cream fight scene.
He battles on to victory. Hey, watch your 7, Johnny. I say, how rude. He battles on to victory. You see, he has a clever plan to beat that nasty Jack.
I could go on. They abuse the animation budget in this episode, that is for sure. I mean, David Block is a great animator. I mean, look at his resume.
A new high in animated excitement. Heavy! Seek 'em! A bold new step in cataclysmic comedy.
Mission accomplished.
Dang it, Jim, I'm an astronomer, not a doctor. I mean, I am a doctor, but I'm not that kind of doctor. I have a doctorate. It's not the same thing. You can't help people with a doctorate. You just sit there and you're useless.
No lies detected. This episode has the best animation in the series. TMS Entertainment never lets me down with his animation. One thing I always notice is that most Winnie the Pooh visual media is usually slowed or moderately paced. But something about Pod and Order feels like the pacing is bumped up. The episode rarely slows down. From the first act, with the play starting, it jumps right away. Then the second act, where it mellows down before Nasty Jack plans his next attack. Then the third act of Piglet standing up to him. I never felt bored at all. This pacing is a bit faster than most episodes, but that is a good thing because it steadies itself when it needs to be. Something about the way they tell the story is quite interesting. Nothing feels stale about the dialogue. They get to the point very fast. With the introduction, then me, Nasty Jack, and the gang of horse thieves, which I'll get to later, and then devising a plan to save Rabbit. Then Tigger gets kidnapped, then Piglet is captured as well. Then Pooh and Eeyore come up with a plan to save everyone with their new personas as the Masked Bear and his faithful steed. The song it plays when they are battling each other is a fun, catchy tune.
Victory! You see, he has a clever plan to beat that nasty Jack. He's here to tame the wild frontier. He'll do it just like that.
It is pretty hilarious. The fact that this episode is all in a play makes the meta jokes and fourth wall breaks here actually work. It doesn't feel forced. I like it when they can't reach something or ask how the script goes. Christopher Robin comes out of nowhere.
It's easy. Anybody could. Christopher Robin!
Yes?
Would you read this to us?
It's the Piglet, and it says, Dear...
The fact that Piglet takes his play too seriously makes you think because that means he is easily traumatized.
That's his name.
Me? I don't want to be sheriff.
Ah, that's okay. You probably won't get through the desert anyway.
Desert?
Man, Gopher is savage. I like how the cactuses just shrivel up.
Honey!
Dang, where did they have this play? Death Valley in California? Rabbit going from being a dramatic about the heat to needing a towel is hilarious.
It's the end, I tell you. We're lost, fried in the desert sun.
Excuse me,
Scorched in the searing sands. We're parched in a waterless wasteland. We're... Does anyone have a towel?
I love how one of the prairie dogs gives Tigger a script of the play. Owl and Gopher appearing in random spots to sing a song never gets old.
You got no chance to stand and fight. You better stay in bed. He'll trounce you left, he'll trounce you right, and tap it.
I also love how they move the plot forward to freeing the Masked Bear and his faithful steed.
Excuse me, but...
Oh, a music lover. Any last requests?
Just one. Do you know how to untie us?
No, but if you hum a few bars, we'll try to fake it.
I have now talked about everything else, but now it's time to bring up the elephant to the room. Or should I say, the whore. Seriously? Should any of you be surprised? Nasty Jack is literally one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. Probably my favorite. possibly one of my most favorite characters of all time as well. The villain / anti-hero makes up most of the episode. Jim Cummings really gives life to this one-shot character. The moment he walks in, the episode's plot really starts to roll fast. The horse thieves pun is gold.
The horse thieves is coming to town and we're clearing out. You best do the same. They're mighty ornery.
I've seen lots of horses, but no thieves.
You don't get the picture here, fellas. We're not horse thieves. We're horse thieves. Horses who steal things. Comprendo? Oh.
He has such simple motives. He wants to trounce any sheriff in any range of distance.
Hate to break it to you, chum, but we've got us a little problem. See, that badge makes you sheriff, and sheriffs and horse thieves don't get along, right? I'm Nasty Jack, the world's meanest horse thief. I'm gonna have to trounce you.
Trounce? Is that anything like bounce?
Nah, let me show you. That's bounce. That's trounce.
I think the bounce scares me more than the trounce due to the fact that Nasty Jack turned this poor soul into a living basketball. I love how Nasty Jack basically only trounced people that are sheriffs.
Would you have to trounce him if he weren't wearing the sheriff badge?
Probably not.
The way he just kicks a small wagon full of stuffed animals without any effort. He can one-shot Goku, Saitama, and Superman easily. I like how Owl and Gopher tell the gang in the song that they are basically royally screwed by Nasty Jack.
You got no chance to stand and fight, you better stay in bed. He'll trounce you left, he'll trounce you right, and tap dance on your head. You can try your best to hide, but remember what we said. He'll trounce you left, he'll trounce you right, and tap dance on your head. You may think that you can run, but Jack's a thoroughbred. He'll trounce you left, he'll trounce you right, and tap dance on your head.
There is the Giga Jack vibe Nasty Jack gives off when taunting Pooh and his friends.
What? No, Cherry. Now that's how you make a banana split. Huh, yourself.
Wait a minute. Oh, stop. Will you stop it? Let go now.
You are gonna try and stop me? What you got in there for brains?
Nasty Jack being a threat is all too real. It is rare when Pooh and gang battle a villain, while their usual worst enemies is their misunderstandings and themselves. Even after Nasty Jack's defeated, he is back for round 2.
I'm gonna have to do something about that masked bear.
I like how Nasty Jack easily surprise captures the masked bear and his faithful steed.
Yourself.
His note is pretty villainous.
Dear
Sheriff, be on the street at sundown. We're gonna have a showdown. The masked bear
And his faithful steed.
are all tied up and can't be freed. So come prepared to meet your fate.
Sincerely, Jack.
Piglet eventually gets the courage to face Nasty Jack, but Jack still mocks Piglet's efforts.
Hey, Gulch, I place you under arrest, if you don't mind.
Seems there ain't nobody here thinks you can do that, Sheriff. Better make your move, Sheriff. Not a bad move.
Love how he dodges the minecart with ease, and then Tigger points out that wasn't in the play.
Oops. Looks like they missed.
What? That's not in the play.
Nasty Jack eventually gets ticked off at Piglet and says,
You done?
Yes.
Then it's definitely trouncing time. Now look what you done. The badge fell off. You know what this means?
I'm not sheriff anymore?
You're not sheriff anymore. That's just peachy, isn't it? Now I can't even trounce you. What in the blue blazes am I supposed to do?
Maybe you could be the sheriff?
Honest? You mean it? I always wanted to be sheriff. Alrighty, Pilgrim. I'm the sheriff now, and I'm really gonna clean up this town. Comprendo?
Now this was the biggest plot twist ever. Nasty Jack was antagonistic towards sheriffs due to the fact that he couldn't become one. He went from chaotic evil to lawful good. He looks better with the sheriff hat. And then the episode ends in a nice way. Piglet the hero. Nasty Jack wasn't the sheriff they wanted, but the sheriff they needed. Pretty much not just my favorite New Adventures in Winnie the Pooh episode, but one of my favorite episodes of any animated series of all time. I'm surprised they never made another episode like this. It felt different due to the fact it was one of the more action-packed episodes and fast-paced. I plan to do another video about DNAO-WTP, most likely later this year. I hope you all enjoyed the video. With that being said, cue the outro.
Every night my head hits the pillow. I'm trying to go to sleep, but I'm thinking of my yellow. Imaginary scenes are replacing all my dreams. Every time I say your name, it's an echo. Hello. Start the engine, you're the key to my car. You're the light of my life when I needed a spark. I can see you from a mile away.